One man's involvement within the world of hip-hop tells a story of how practice and reflection can be tools for advancement within one's community. Knowledge is key.
Hello out there. We're about ready to begin our program. It's a beautiful day in Chicago, and we're going to have a wonderful time this afternoon.
Ronald Hill, creative at heart, love music, art, anything creative, artistic. That pretty much embodies who I am. That's what drives me today. Native of Chicago for 38 years now. The bubble that I was in, basically, it was all about rap. I mean, that was when your Crush Grooves and your Beat Streets and all that stuff was coming out. I didn't think about a scene per se, or what the trend was, because again, things were different. They weren't communicated the same way they are now. Things weren't written and defined in the media. It was about whatever you wanted to do. You could find friends on any given day, and if you had common interests, let's say hip-hop at that time, what we did was we went from, block to block, and we would battle other breakdancing crews, and it was pretty much fun. And that's what was going on where I lived. What was going on across town, I couldn't tell you. The popular kids weren't necessarily hip-hop. It still hadn't caught on that way. But when I was in Hyde Park, it expanded. When I was doing graffiti, we were spray painting. As soon as I reached 16, I had a car. So the whole city was accessible to me. So wherever we wanted to go and put up art, that's what we did.
Why graffiti?
Because it's groovy. It's where it's at.
That's not where it's at with me. I see graffiti in my neighborhood all the time, and I don't like it.
Generally, it was about color and style, and it was that wet paint, that texture that you wanted, so it was spray paint. It had to be something liquid, ink or paint or something. Or somebody was an innovator, and they say, I want to write my name like and make it look really skinny. So they tried something new, somebody saw it, caught on, they told them, try this cap. It was called a softball cap, which was like kind of mist out the aerosol a little more, make it smoother and more even. For us, it was mainly about the art. It was about what was accessible. Was it conducive to actually hold the paint what we want to do? Was it safe enough? Are you going to fall off of something, or can you reach out and get to it? Do you have to lean over 2 gaps in a building 13 stories up? I mean, was it visible? Is it worth doing that if nobody's ever going to see it? Basically, in high school, it was just graffiti and DJing. Initially, I sampled everything, which I did like. That has a particular sound, get your sounds a little more organic, grainy. I would accompany that sound with accented instrumentation from my keyboard. And then I began to just pretty much make everything from MIDI sounds and no samples at all. It was me and 3 other guys. We were sleepwalkers. In that era, it was like, we're gonna make our music. We love this music. And if you don't like it, that's your problem. But this is what we're gonna make.
Chill was my inspiration. Like, he was like a bigger brother to me. And when I heard his music, it inspired me to want to pick up the microphone and, start rapping and start writing. And it just changed my outlook on music. He just always had a business mindset with the music. He was ahead of his time. Probably one of the greatest producers I've ever met in my life.
But I gave myself to when I was 24. If I didn't do it in 2 years, I was like, I'm gonna stop. So that's basically what happened. Recording music and producing, you use Mac products. I'm like, well, let me start designing on this thing in my downtime so I can make money as a designer to tie me over to make music. So whichever one of these starts to catch on, that's where I'm gonna go. And I didn't go to school for it. Everybody goes to school for it. There's commercials about it now. It's cool to be a designer now. I was self-taught. I work in advertising. I work in-house corporate. I make a pretty good living at the level I am as a designer.
There are a lot of people that think in a box. So sometimes I've seen people criticize or been criticized for, doing something outside of hip hop. But personally, I think that's bullshit. People with a more progressive mind state look at that as growth, because I believe that's really what it is.
Being an African American in this industry. I'm the minority. I don't even know if there are any other black male designers in the city, to be honest with you. I have not met one yet. I've met a lot of black art directors, but I haven't met a lot of black designers. I'm thinking about trying to figure out how to maybe introduce this more to, for lack of a better term, inner city children, so that they're aware of this profession and maybe choose to go about it the right way. I'm constantly dabbling in something. I still have equipment where I can produce my own music. I have whatever I need or want to do it. If I want to paint, I just go buy it and do it. But all this stuff I do right now, currently, for me.
DJ Immaculate, producer, DJ, peace to my man Chill.
Shout out to Chill, man. Tunde out.
Peace. It's Walt G. Shout out to my man Ron Chill. From graffiti artist to producer to professional designer. Keep doing your thing, baby. Chi-Town, Southside, represent. One love.
I'm Ron Hill. And you will not use that shit. That was your idea.